What's up, guys? So I'm back again to talk about a little underrated horror movie that I watched that I don't think a lot of people have seen or probably even heard about, because when I saw the poster for this movie, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be just like some schlocky B-movie trash that it'll either be so bad it's good and I'll have a fun time with it, or it'll be really downright just fucking horrible. But I was really surprised. It's actually a really well-made, engaging horror film that has a very interesting and well put together message, and I'm talking about a movie about killer genes called Slaxx. I've talked about Shudder before. Shudder has an awesome array of movies to watch, and this was just tip of the iceberg for me. But yeah, one night just on a whim, I decided to turn this one on, and I left pleasantly surprised. Slaxx is directed by Elza Kephart, and this is a movie about a young girl who goes to work at a retail store that sells all different kinds of clothing. It's an upper end retail store. And she goes in, and you can tell all the employees there are kind of snooty, they're kind of douchey in a way. And she seems very refined into herself. And when she goes in, they go as far as to make her purchase clothes from the store because the ones she's wearing from the store are so out of season. Trying to, you know, get in there because she likes the brand. She likes that they're all about safe labor conditions for their employees and all these things that she's very passionate about. Quickly, we're introduced to an eccentric cast of characters that work in the store that, you know, are going to be our victims later on. What we're given is Slaxx, which is a pair of genes that kills people in ways that I couldn't even have imagined them to kill people, and it's a fucking riot from start to finish. One of the things about this type of movie is I've talked about this before, tone is everything in a film, especially a horror movie, and if you're gonna try to approach a horror film with a comedic element to it, you have to be able to balance that comedy and that real horror. And I feel like this movie does a really nice job of both. The kills are so brutal and over the top that there's times where you're laughing about the absurdity of the situation of how a person's getting murdered, but the direction doesn't detract from just how brutal and violent these kills are, no matter how ridiculous it is. And I feel like Elza really does a nice job at juggling this tonal balance of, okay, I want to make something that's ridiculous and over the top, but I'm also trying to convey a message. And yeah, throughout this story, I don't want to give too much away because I think it's such a riot and it's such a fun movie to go into knowing absolutely nothing about it. But what I will say is the emotional impact and the core of the third act is so well written and engaging that it actually really took me by surprise. I didn't expect it to leave me feeling so emotional at the end, especially a movie about genes that get to a point where they're like slurping up people's blood off of the ground. It's wonderful. It's really impressive that a director like Elza Kephart, who I have not seen any of her other work, but who has done what appears to be not a whole lot, was able to come into a feature like this and juggle that tonal balance. There's a lot of really creepy atmosphere in this movie. They do a nice job being in one location. They're in this building, so obviously there's like a warehouse in the back where they store all their stuff. There's bathrooms, there's the sales floor, but it's a very limited space that they're working with. It really gives you that, you know, feeling of like, here's where we're at, but I'm gonna make each one of these settings very creepy. And the whole thing that adds to it is they're doing this overnight setup to launch this new product, and they're locked down in the building where they're like in a strip on the mall or something, and they're not able to get out. And that just adds to the overall tension of the movie of, hey, you start finding out these genes are killing people, well, how the hell do you get out of the building when it's all locked down? There's a couple goofy elements added in. There's this like fashion vlogger who comes in who's got a really ridiculous personality. These, you know, little comedic moments laced throughout, but it does not detract from the overall message of the film, which I think will surprise most people. Yeah, other than that, I would just say I highly recommend Slaxx. If you have a Shudder membership, you should watch it immediately. It's over the top, it's ridiculous, it's funny. Really liked it even more on a second watch. I've seen it a few times now. It gets better each time. It's either gonna be something you really love or you really hate, But at this time of year, trying to find little gems like this outside of, you know, the classics that everyone loves or modern day masterpieces, this is one I would definitely recommend checking out. Have you guys seen Slaxx yet? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below what you think. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.